The character Yew longbow is coming along quite nicely now. You can see I've got it at a low brace. It's been hard work trying to get enough wood off the belly to bring the draw weight down, because at some points it looks like there's a lot of wood, but on the other side it may be thin. And of course I've had to try and follow all these snakes, all these curves up and down. Particularly this area is a bit testing, because this tip is just bent naturally down a little bit like that, which makes it look weak. It'd be nice to straighten it a hint, but on the other hand I want to keep the bow as natural as possible. Anyway, it's progressing, the draw weight's coming back. The bark's all popped off, but as it came off I found some slightly worrying features, which I'll show you in close-up, which makes me more keen to have it as 40 pound, not anything heavier, because there's a couple of knot holes and a couple of weird bits. Looks like someone stuck a chisel in it or something and then it's grown over. So you've got, you know, discontinuities across the back of the bow. In fact, you can see the edge of one there. I don't know if that shows up, that little black mark there. Right, it's not through the full thickness of the sapwood, but it is an issue. Anyway, let's pull it and see what we've got to now, and give it some good exercise. And I was about, I think I was 40 at about 20. Again, I don't want to waste the time and effort of putting horn knocks on if it's going to explode on me. So I'll give it plenty of exercise. There we 40. So I've just done a little bit, it's not really made any odds. Well, there's 21, so yeah, as I exercise it. And that's probably 21 from the camera's perspective. And about 40. So, the other thing is, where it's got quite thin, it's a very thin, flat section. And you think, well, that's hardly an English longbow anymore. But for a quick check, I measured the width against thickness at one of the flatter areas, and it was still well within the 5/8 rule that they use to define a longbow. So the thickness divided by the width should be no less than 5/8. And they normally work out more like 3/4, which is 0.75. So just out of interest, 5/8 is 0.62. This is 0.668. So it's still meeting the definition of a longbow. And I'll probably narrow it further. I'll slowly be reducing the width. I'll show you some of these funny areas. Right, so we've got two holes there, sort of long, deep grooves. This is that funny sort of slot, if you like. Looks like someone stuck a chisel in and levered it out. Another couple of holes. Then here we've got one of these big, looks like someone stuck a chisel in and levered it. And another hole there, and another sort of like a little bald patch, if you like. So you've got these three features in close proximity. But you can see that one, it doesn't go through the full depth of sapwood. But I mean, I could chisel these out and put sapwood patches over the back, but it'd spoil the look of the bow. Oh, that's a nice one. Similar effect, this sort of horizontal line. Looks like someone's dug in and levered, and you can see on the side there, hopefully. Let's see if the camera will pick it up in front of my shirt. I don't know how well that's showing up, but it's a bit of a weird feature. But of course it's not covering the full width of the bow. and there is some sapwood under it, and there's nice thick sapwood this side. But yeah, all a bit tricky still. It's getting narrower, getting slimmer. You can see I've cleaned off all the cambium that was left on that limb. I haven't done it here yet, but the advantage of popping the bark off is I get a really clean, pristine layer here. The disadvantage is I didn't see these features earlier. Anyhow, we're getting there. It's got a nice natural swell there at the grip, so that means you won't end up with a skinny, bony grip that feels harsh on your knuckles. Although, if you look there, the back is slightly concave, so you end up with a corner, a sharp corner there and there, which sits right on that knuckle. And I think that's one of the things that people think is hand shock. It's an uncomfortable grip banging on your knuckle. But I've had some arguments discussions online with people, some of whom think a circular tiller or an arc of a circle tiller is what causes hand shock. Well, I disagree with that strongly, but there you go. We'll see what the tiller looks like on this when it's finished, and we'll see how much hand shock there is. Hand shock.